From what I remember, I gotta Google it before I say some shit that is inaccurate on Mr. King's name.
Dr. King.
Not Mr. King, you're right.
Didn't he at the end of the movement kind of lean more into the Malcolm X side of things? They started like floating into each other's kind of like
idealism
action. Yeah, idealism. Yes, there you go. Yeah,
good word.
But I want to see.
You think I'm not educated, dude?
Yeah, sometimes.
You think by the color of my skin tone I'm not educated?
No, by the fact that you went to 3 different high schools.
All right, dude. That had nothing to do with my education. That had to do with my ability of not being able to be violent, dude.
Oh, so you are one of the violent ones. Deport him.
That's crazy.
Steve, introduce us.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Heard From Your Friends. Your 3 favorite idiots. We're on
the show.
Yeah. Are you gonna ask me for something and then correct me?
Because I assume you would say it right by the time.
Like, comment, subscribe.
For almost 3 years?
Almost.
Is it?
Yeah, I think like late June. No,
July. I remember it's July. I just can't remember the year. I think it's
gonna be year 3.
We could just look at the YouTube.
I don't feel like it.
We could have an answer.
I don't feel like it.
So what's up? What's the word?
Happy Pride Part 2.
Happy Pride, yay!
Pride. I'm wearing multicolored.
There's more important things happening right now.
Black.
I was like, I saw a comment that said Trump hates homos so much that he took June away from us and put the focus on LA.
That's true, dude. It's true. Now imagine being the target on both fronts of Trump's agenda. It's a fun time to be alive, you guys.
And illegal gay?
Well, not legal, but gay, Latino. Watch him have like an issue with fat people next, and then I'm like, I'm a 3 for.
Nah,
he can't hate on himself, bro.
That was Michelle Obama.
Michelle, you're right.
Michelle Obama had that problem.
Fuck them fat kids.
She said, take away their coffee cakes, take away their pizzas for breakfast,
bomb,
and give them
no more chalupas.
That bitch of salads. I really like the chalupas and the burritos
and the coffee cakes.
Man.
She was good.
Okay,
coffee cake was fire.
But
yeah. Welcome back.
I mean, LA's on fire, honestly. So it's like, again, politically
on fire.
Not like the mountains are on fire or anything like that. It's literally just cars, a couple cars here and there.
A couple squad cars, few Waymos.
I
saw that. I was like, oh,
I took
the poor robots.
I took screenshots of different stuff. I realized I can't write shit down. I'm gonna forget. So I could screenshot things that I'm like, oh, that jogged a memory or an idea or a topic to talk about. And I know that when I look at the picture, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's what that. Yes, to get away
good
from
for you, dude.
To get away from the LA thing, the Diddy thing. Have you guys been hearing about like Ron Mango's like shit that's going on with her or whatever, bro?
It's a good turn.
That shit's weird.
I've seen.
Isn't
okay, so I know that the case. No, it's not in LA, is it?
No, I don't think so. I think it's like
Florida?
I thought it was like New York.
I don't know if it's New York. I don't want to say like. I feel like saying Chicago or Atlanta has like some like racial connotation behind it. That's why I'm not saying it, but I really think it's Chicago. Isn't it Chicago?
It's Trial in New York.
New York. Okay.
Yeah.
So in other words, you're slightly a little racist.
That's why I'm like, if I say that, is that fucked up?
A little bit.
But I feel like it was in Chicago. It might defend Chicago.
Black rapper Chicago.
Oh my God.
Defense, Chicago is a
Kanye
violent ass town. So.
Oh man. No, but anyway, like I've seen obviously the people are saying the updates as to what's happening, but I haven't like paid full attention to it. I don't know. I don't know.
I know. Oh, sorry. Go. I was just gonna.
The fuck's happening?
We're trying to
keep cutting each other up.
You're like, oh, go ahead. Oh, but also, by the way, it's like
because we keep giving each other the fucking leeway to go.
And then we're both waiting like 2 seconds to like give them that space.
This is what happens when it's on over Discord.
Exactly.
Because it's Discord.
Yeah.
all I was gonna say
Yes.
is just that apparently there's like the jury just saw the freak off videos or some shit.
Oh shit!
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I don't know
Yeah.
that like aspect of it.
Yeah, all I
yeah,
know is
'cause
that they
there's
saw
videos,
them
right?
and that it was like they're fucked up, and I don't know the rest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause people are fucked up.
I was gonna say
Bro.
that apparently Kanye has this like, not Kanye. What the fuck?
Diddy.
Diddy has this. They're both fucking crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if Kanye is in court for like some shit that he did.
You want to know what's
when he's
his
off
he
of his
involved
meds.
too?
No, he's not. That's what I'm
Really?
saying. I was like, regardless of whatever fucking crazy shit he's not, he's somehow not involved in freak offs. His ex-wife is Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian's she was in the freak offs.
I'm not surprised.
The Kardashians were in freak offs,
But that was like all of them?
like all three of them.
Was this before or after she got famous?
This is when she was famous.
This is
Okay.
like I think in the beginning of her fame.
I'm like,
Yeah.
basically, I'm asking, is this pre Ray J or after Ray J?
well, she wasn't really famous pre Ray J.
Yeah,
anyways.
she
was.
That's what I'm saying.
She was Paris Hilton's assistant.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
So
no one cares.
So then after Ray J,
Yeah, okay.
when the show was all going on, because they talk
Yeah.
about it in the show.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently he has like this way of going into like the courtroom. He tries to be like courteous to everybody. He'll like say hi, wave,
Yeah.
bob his head or whatever. And I guess with the media coverage team, like the media section, the journalists, he just kind of like nods or acknowledges them very slightly, and it's like, okay, whatever. But I guess one of them that's getting like the most attention is Ron Mango. Her name is, I think it's Stephanie Sue or so, if I remember her name.
Talking about the girl who's
Rotten
on the
Mango
TikTok?
is like her screen name.
Yes, Ron Mango is,
okay.
is her screen
the
name.
TikTok girl.
TikTok YouTuber,
Yeah.
long form media.
She's like talking about it and shit.
Yeah. Mhm.
I seen clips. Yeah.
Yeah, so she apparently said that this out of nowhere he changed up the way that he was kind of like operating in like the courtroom when he was saying hi to everybody with the journalists. He didn't say anything to them. He just sat down and then he turned around and he kind of like looked at them like from left to right, but then pinpointed onto her and said, "I know who you are," or something like that.
Damn.
And then so she kind of thought, oh, maybe it's just somebody behind me, or maybe like there's a bunch of people like around. So it could be like anybody. But like, I think it was multiple. I don't want to say like 2 or 3 because I feel like it was more than that from what I remember her saying. But people like went up to her, like scooted near her, and they were like, "Are you going to talk about that in your video? Are you gonna point that out? Are you gonna?" Because it was weird for him to like just outright like point her out, like, call her out, kind of.
They're gonna kill her.
That's why it's like, oh girl, somebody. I think somebody in
boy.
the comments was like, somebody
Death
keep an
Row
eye
Records.
on
He's not Death Row.
Stephanie. So
No, I'm just saying.
make sure she's okay. That she's not gonna like, I don't know.
He's Bad Boy Records, which is
Unironically, yeah, unironically disappear.
Yeah. But yeah, so I thought that was pretty interesting. And also kind of like, what the fuck? Did he freaking people out with his freak offs? But in
weird,
like,
bro.
Person, yeah, he really is weird. That's a weird dude.
it's it's like, you know how like they portray evil people on like shows or cartoons or whatever. I'm just like, you think it's an exaggeration, and then you see like the way that he behaved. Like I don't know if you guys have seen like the way that like some background not background behind the scenes stuff have come out about like shit that he's worked on or anything like that. And it's like, you know how like sometimes he'll be like, he'll just look happy, and then out of nowhere you just get that snap of like oh, he's a psychopath.
Hey man, let's be honest, and I'm gonna be a little real. It feels like the rappers from back in the day, like back then, like when Kanye was at his peak, when Diddy was at his peak, it seems like they're not all up there. Like they're not good up there. It seems like there's something that they were like, yeah, I don't need medication for this. I'm the shit. And then they just never got back on it. And then they just operate like bipolar sociopaths.
Yeah.
Not to give people that have bipolar disorder a fucking bad rep, but y'all kind of have a bad rep on your own. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, it's a mental illness.
Yes.
And it's not to say that it's an excuse for why they're acting the way they're acting, but
it's a partial explanation.
Yeah.
Possibly. We're not doctors. Were you gonna say, I thought you were gonna say something.
I was gonna say not yet, but I was like, I'm not gonna be a doctor.
Neither am I.
Not yet. So what's up with the other cat?
Oh, yeah, so why do you have 2 cats?
Oh yeah. So
guys, he has 2 in his room.
Pepper, right? She has a brother, and that brother,
the one that
was staying
at work.
Yeah, he was staying with the resident at work, the one that tells me all the stories and shit.
Right. The original owner.
No. Yeah. So no, not the original owner, because she never owned Pepper.
Oh.
But what's it called? She was keeping him, and the plan was that she was gonna keep him, but I guess the administration found out, and they had originally, one of them had originally told her that it was fine. But now the other one, who's more in charge of like the books and bookkeeping and all that shit, told her that you can't keep it unless you pay another pet deposit, because she already has a cat, and she's already paid the deposit on that cat. So now she thought it was good, like that it would be fine, but no, they're like saying no, you have to pay the deposit for the other cat.
How much are the pet deposits?
$1,500.
Ouch! No way.
So she was like, okay, I could do that, but I could do it off payments. Like I'll just add a little extra every month, like for the rent and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they told her no.
Why?
It has to be all one. There's no fucking reason as to why it has to be one single payment.
Well, because
our
it's
guess
kind
is
of like rent. You can't put rent on payment. It's the same thing. It's a deposit.
I guess in a way, but I think more than
Not
anything,
everything can go on fucking Klarna.
More than anything, they just don't want her to have the cat. Realistically,
100%.
Yeah, because that's really weird. She's an old person.
Yeah, but they already they're letting her have one, right? Like she can.
Yeah, she has one cat.
She paid for that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm like, I don't know, especially with cats and because she's not letting them like out into the communal space, right? No. They're not messy.
They stay in the room. The most that happens was when they were kittens, like, or at least smaller. They're just, what's it called? Their pee and their poo was like hella stinky.
It stinks. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Because
that's what I was gonna say.
They're on formula and shit.
I feel like the most worry or like bothersome that they can be is the smell, and that would be like the only thing. It's like, okay, well, we're gonna give you like maybe like a warning system, 3 strikes, and like you got to do something about the other cat.
Do nurses go into the living facility homes, like into their places?
They do.
Sanitary reasons why they can't.
But she's fully independent in the sense that they don't check her room like that. Yeah. They only go if she requests them.
Okay. I mean, it's just sanitary reasons. Yeah. I'm not saying it's good, but it's fucked.
No, so that was the first thing, is that that it stunk and all that shit. But it's been like a month now, and yeah, they're just like any other cat at this point. The only thing is they're just energetic, and that's it. So basically, she can't come up with the money, at least not right now.
Right.
And she's gonna be saving what she gets, like, from her money, for a while until she can pay it, and then she'll pay it, and I can give her the cat back. But for now, she asked me if I can keep the cat, and what's it called? All of this was talked about behind my back, in a sense that, like, she talked with my niece that also works there, saying like, "You think he would take it?" And she's like, "Yeah, he'll take it, obviously." And I was like, I came into the situation, she's almost crying. I'm just like, I can't say no. And it's not like
no? if you weren't like goaded into it. I was
thinking about it, because the thing is, they're a lot of work, and honestly, they run everywhere. Obviously, with one cat, it's dealable. That's a fucking chicken, bro. This is fucking annoying. The one cat is like whatever, because I can keep tabs of it or whatever. With the second cat, they're already running everywhere and just fucking, getting into where they shouldn't, and then obviously all the extra cat maintenance, as in like the litter and all the extra food and all that shit. So
yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would figure. I would say yes, just out of sheer, like, it's a way of paying her back for babysitting your cat while you're at work for those other times. And I don't imagine that you're gonna take care of the cat for like a long time.
it's like minimum 3 months.
Yeah, I imagine it's gonna be like
Yeah.
2 months, 3. Yeah, if it's the bare minimum or whatever. But yeah, so
It's not so much that I was gonna for sure say no. I was just like, I wish I would have at least gotten like a heads up instead of literally clocking into work at 8 and immediately just hit with hey, please take care of the cat or else she's gonna fucking break down and cry.
You gotta foster this kitten, and for the time being.
I was just like, God fucking damn it. All right, that's fine.
Well,
But yeah, I have 2 cats, at least for now.
2 kitties. What's the other one's name?
The other one, they called him, well, my niece had him, so he
Pedro.
called him Dobby.
Dobby.
Because when he was a little kitty, he looked more like Dobby, like the elf from
He got big
Harry
ears.
Potter.
You just look like a homeless person.
Pepper and Dobby. Dobby did not look like a homeless person. Dobby looked like a
Dobby
homeless
looked like-
small person.
Yeah, he's look like a homeless person.
It's
Cat-
Dobby.
Oh my, Dobby does look like Dobby.
Yeah.
Cutie.
I don't know what kind he is.
At that tummy.
He has a long
Oh
tail.
yeah,
huh?
he's fat right now.
Oh my gosh.
He has a
They
long
just
tail.
ate. They both have long tails ish. Yeah.
It's usually the tail and the paws. You can tell how big a cat's gonna get if those motherfuckers are mitted.
This is a boy. Yeah, he do have some large, big ass paws.
Well, just be careful. You don't let him fuck.
Nah, they're getting spayed and neutered as soon as they
Okay, okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think they're too young.
Yeah, they don't care about that shit yet.
Not yet.
His balls, he does have balls, and they've already like, I don't know how else to say it. They dropped.
They're visible.
All they do right now is just wrestle. I don't know if you.
Yep, there they are.
Yep. And then they wrestle,
Cute.
and it becomes bed wrestling, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Like adults.
You're weird.
Steve, what is
That's what
wrong?
happens, dude.
They're siblings.
Dude,
You're fucking
are
weird.
First of
you
all,
okay?
they
I don't know,
fucking-
dude.
It's 1:30 on a Tuesday. What's wrong with you?
A lot, dude.
Oh my god. This guy said, I'm using my gripper to get out this excess energy. He's all pent. Look at him with his, he's like, I'm a shooter.
Just like the cops in LA.
Pew pew.
Apparently,
You see that one? I was gonna say, did you see that one? I think it was a cop that shot the reporter with the rubber bullet.
the
Australian
Yeah,
reporter.
that's like,
She was just
like,
vibing.
oh, no.
that's technically like illegal, I think, by UN law or like the world law. You're not supposed to attack or be violent towards reporters. They're just there to report.
Reporters have like they're basically protected. Yeah, they're basically protected by the law when it comes to that. It's kind of like the ones who go to like war for like journalists. They're like journalist protection.
Yeah.
But that for sure, those cops are gonna get LAPD is gonna get fined for that.
Bro,
you know what sucks? Now that we're on the topic, that like LAPD basically said, "Hey, we don't even want to be part of this. Y'all do your thing,
bro." Okay, so
it's
first
wild.
of all, everybody that obviously has seen the videos of like
everything?
the cars on fire, the fucking people, what's it called, burning flags and things like that.
Honestly, who gives a fuck about Waymo? I mean, it sucks for Waymo, but Waymo is like a multi-dollar company at this point too. Like, bro, burn burn
multi-dollar. I know you meant multi-million.
Didn't I say multi-million?
You said
no, you said multi-dollar.
Oh, my
just
brain.
Like, I got
multi-million-dollar.
I got $2.
Multi-dollar. I just say multi. Damn, my brain just picked up multi-million-dollar. I thought I said million.
All right, so my point was like everybody's seen those videos of all the chaos that happened, but that was like a really small part of the riot. And on top of that, it was only for like a little bit.
I thought Steve
you see the live streams right now? What?
Steve was standing up right now, and I thought he was gonna like flex his legs while you're talking about the protest that's going on, because that's just Steve shit. Not that he will do that in the middle of the conversation, but whenever Steve stands up and he has his hands lowered, I'm like expecting him to like lift them up and then flex and slap his thighs and then sit back down. I was ready for a Steve moment. I was like, oh, this is timely.
He's gonna add that to the goon folder.
You're a gooner, dude.
He's done it so many times. This imagination goes wild. I can think of 5 different positions Steve's in right now. Yeah. Nice.
He's in right now, or that you would put him in?
Both?
Oh, God.
Crazy. I'm going to give you your address.
Creative, dude. No, but sorry, continue. You were saying.
Well, okay. So anyways, you've seen the fucking chaos.
Yes.
There was only a few and far between, realistically. But now you look at all the lives, especially like right now. And it's just people in the streets.
Yeah.
No, it's just people on the streets fucking obviously doing their protests and like grupos and shit like that playing Hispanic music, Latin music. And everybody's chilling. Everybody's obviously exercising peacefully. And you see the cops.
Not everybody.
And they're the majority.
Yeah, like 90%.
I hate when he does that shit. Yeah. The majority. And then you look at the cops, and the cops are literally just on their phones, just fucking sitting around because they have nothing to do. Yeah, along with the fucking Coast Guard and all that bullshit.
It's that saying where it's like it only takes one person to fuck everything up, and then it was so peaceful the last weekend throughout the actual protests that they were able to physically pinpoint the people who were like causing violence and doing dumb shit. Basically uproaring everybody for these things that's causing all these issues now. But yeah, no, it's like, even the fucking chief of police came out in a statement and was like, yeah, we kind of didn't want to do this. Like, we don't want to be part of this. He straight out was like, you guys, like, please, like, Angelino's like protest, like civilly, like, we don't want to be part of this. Like, we want to be in our own lane. Like, fuck all this. But people are, causing a ruckus.
What was that?
Mis amigos, por favor. Cálmate.
Por favor, what? Okay.
That's it.
He's exercising his Spanish.
Apparently, California is...
Gotta practice for when I get deported.
California is now suing Donald Trump.
Oh,
yeah,
I saw that.
Now. Yeah.
Yeah, because of the
2,000 National Guard troops that are in LA.
Apparently, they're not even from the original post that
it's not even all full 2,000, bro.
Yeah, he sent like 500 of them.
They're all sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, they're all from right here, from Palm.
It's the fact they even brought them. And I have a old classmate from high school, and it makes me wonder how his mental gymnastics are going. He was the kind of guy that. I don't think you'll ever see this. He was the kind of guy that would pick on kind of anybody, but not like in a super hardcore way where it was outright bullying. It was like just teasing or poking at or throwing like a paper ball or whatever, or like cracking a joke at. It wasn't anything like super hardcore bully. But for me, he would kind of go the extra mile, or like just put a little salt on it, a little sauce on it. Just because I'm gay, normal shit, just gay guy, gay kid in school, big boy. So I was like, okay. But I think in senior year, I forgot what was going on, but it got to the point where it was like too much, told him some shit. And then he was like, well, you want to fight about it? I was like, no, I just think you're fucking gay, dude. You fucking pick on me all the fucking time, and you go through this whole fucking spiel, this whole fucking thing. You're standing up when I'm telling you not to try to hit me with a fucking basketball. And I don't get it. You do it to nobody else in the class, just me. So I think I was going to say,
you like me or some shit?
I was going to go full Monty what I remember saying. I think you're just fucking gay, the other term. And he was like, well, I'm gonna fuck you or something like that. And then the teacher was like,
you gonna fuck me? I ain't even a bottom.
The teacher that was there was honestly like, yeah, so and so. I don't know why you pick on, like, you deal or like bother him at all, too. Like, it does make you look kind of gay. I was like,
W teacher.
See? Bro, see? Like, I say nothing to you. I'm friends with like everybody that, like, we have mutual friends. We're cool. We can be cool. We're chill sometimes. So I was so confused. And I think that's what makes you think. So he was those kind of dudes that kind of had like that, oh, you're you're kind of gay vibe, but you know, was like trying to be super macho. But he was illegal. And then I guess a way for like illegal people, especially like high schoolers or whatever, when they could go into the army, and I guess that would in some way help you with acquiring citizenship or some type of version of citizenship. And from what I know, he was or is, I'm gonna say is because I don't know anymore, is Super Trump. So I'm wondering how he's feeling about this whole situation, because it's not just him that's legal in his family, because he has
off of like
parents and stuff. So I'm wondering where his brain's at with all that shit.
A big portion of like ICE agents and LAPD are Hispanics. They're of a Latin culture, so it's like
I'm talking about specifically the ones that are illegal. No, just not him, but like people that are illegal that did have that kind of sense. Because I think
if he signed up for the military and he joined, then he technically has papers now.
I knew I had heard about this. You know about the whole fucking bullshit of Latinas for Trump?
Oh my god, yeah.
I heard
it was this.
There's
a fucking organization founded by some woman. I forget her name. Obviously during like the election or whatever the fuck. And I remember somebody bringing her up like a couple of days ago, because they're like, what does she think now? And it's just her statements were, this is not what we voted for. It's unacceptable and inhumane. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean this is not what you voted for? He made it fucking clear. I'm trying to get rid of all the illegals. He never said, you know, like, oh, just the poor ones or anything like that bullshit.
Yeah.
Have you guys cried to any of those videos you've seen yet?
Oh, I've been avoiding it. I'm gonna be so honest. Like, I know what's going on. We all knew what was gonna happen. So seeing this shit
teared up when they were like
pop up on mine, I'm like, I think I've seen one, and that's when I was like, yeah, for sure, I'm good.
I teared up seeing like where they're having like kids fucking represent themselves. I was like, you guys. Like part of the groups that they've been capturing. I'm like, I saw like their kids. Like literally, you see like the district attorney like be like, sit here, grab like when you're talking to the mic. And I was like, I remember like I was laying in bed. I turned to the side and I was just like, I cried. I was like, you guys are pieces of shit. I was like, fuck you guys. Like, fuck all of you. Like at this point, like I was like, how fucking dare you? I was like, it's a child who doesn't even understand like half of the things you're talking about, let alone that you know that you're about to change his whole life because you find him as a criminal.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm good.
It is a very sad and dark time.
Being in that scenario as like an adult is scary as shit. I can't imagine dealing with that shit as a kid. That's crazy. That is crazy.
I've seen a couple of not the those like court ones or anything like that. Yeah. I've only ever seen just the videos of them getting like arrested, detained. The video from the facility of like some guy calling out for help because his little daughter, I think it was, like needed medical attention or something like that. And he's just screaming like, ayuda, blah blah blah. It's sad as fuck. Yeah. And then the other one that I saw was this one hit a little closer to home. It was this lady who's been here for like who knows how many years, brought all of her children and all that stuff, and all the kids are grown up now. They're like 20s, something like that. Some of them have kids even, and she's still not a citizen, and I don't know as far as like residency, I don't think so, but either way, she decided she's just gonna fucking leave. Like she ended up going back to TJ and then took a flight to Guerrero, which is where my family's from.
But voluntary deportation. Yes.
Yeah. And she's just like, yeah, she did it just because she doesn't want to live in the fear of being caught and being put in those conditions.
Yeah.
And then what's it called? It sucks because, you know, she's leaving behind her whole family just so that she doesn't have to be constantly worried about, you know, all that shit. And yeah, I was just like, that one hit a little bit close to home because it's just like, that's literally where my family's from. And I could see that in a sense of like, me with my mom, but at least in my case, my mom is a resident and she's already working like pretty much she's one step away from becoming a citizen. So that's good for me, obviously. But and when I saw that video, I was just like, fuck, man. Like, this is some bullshit.
Yeah.
Fuck all of you. Like, I don't know. Just anger. Nothing but fucking anger.
Yeah,
was
dude,
just
it sucks. It'd be lying if I said that. Like, yeah, you know, like I'm down to go to these protests. Like for once, I'm like,
I wanted to go.
I did too, but I was like, you know what? I was like, I think I'm gonna sit this one out. I was like,
the only reason
like,
I don't want to. Sorry, I'm cutting you off. The only reason I haven't or don't want to is because I'm scared of what my mom will be like, in the sense of like she's seen what people go through. We've had family members that have been deported before.
Same. Yeah.
And it's like I can't put her through stress like of me just being like, hey, I need to go out and, you know, at least be a part of this or witness this. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm okay. Like, I know everybody's fighting hard for their shit, for this movement, and I'm like, I trusted in them, and we could do our part, just, you know, talking about it, spreading word. Yeah. Like, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah. I had seen videos like shit a couple months back. And it was mainly like one specifically that I remember, because that one was like, because it's the whole like everything hit close to home, all aspects of it. It was a teacher that was kind of going over, I guess she was recording her day, and then I guess a student went up to her and told her that they're leaving tonight, that they don't think they're gonna come back. And the teacher basically was like, okay, well, remember to go over your these mathematics, or to go over these things, you know, your blah blah, like just a lot of positive, self-loving and like self-improving affirmations, basically. And I've had relatives, like I'm pretty sure almost all of us have, that have been deported. You know, it is like has happened. And it was my uncle, and it sucks. It just sucks. It just sucks. But so that aspect is like one thing. And then the other aspect of like that scenario is, my mom is a teacher. So I try to imagine, or not even try to imagine, I imagine my mom in that scenario of like, because she worked with elementary school kids. So I can't imagine her having to hear that and then like go about your day, like, especially my mom, she's an emotional lady, but like
she's an empath.
Yeah, she is. But yeah, that when I saw that, and then just knowing who our leaders are and where their viewpoints stand, or where they stand on topics, once that shit started popping up, I was like, okay, every now and then I'll watch a video, but for the most part, I'll like maybe watch a little bit and then scroll, just out of sheer like, yeah, I kind of saw this coming, and I feel like all of us did, but everybody was really holding their breath and hoping for nothing too hardcore. And no, it's pretty hardcore. It really is. And as for protesting and putting your voice out, I feel like I'm the most vocal out of all of us. Not to say that you guys aren't or anything like that. This isn't a way to like jab at you guys, or even for it to be pitched like that. But I think about stuff like that whenever we have had protesting, whether it be for like the gay rights when I was younger, or whether it be for BLM, or whether it be for the current protesting that's going on right now. Me out there just doesn't function in my head. It's just, I don't, realistically, guys, I'm an unhealthy man, so that's why I'm like, if anything does happen, I can talk. I'm a good talker, so that's why I figure I'm gonna be a verbal person, put things out there, viewpoints, let people know, argue with friends, make comments, hold people up to a certain standard that are in my life, because I think that even if you're not able to go out there, like we all just said, being a voice is also helping. And I don't think that the, like, how I feel, like the sheer like shitty feeling or fear that you're not helping, so you're part of the issue. I feel like this is a good way to kind of like go about it, because some people don't even have conversations about it and just have shitty viewpoints on it because they're watching or reading something from Facebook or a TikTok or blah 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 blah. Like, you know, you might be some person in somebody's life, but you could be like an example too. Like the examples they could be getting are just some shitty ass examples of like what's going on in LA, what like actual people are going through that are dealing with these issues. So I think being a voice is also good, and I think that it is important to share your opinion, viewpoints, life. You know, it's good. Mm-hmm. It's positive. And I quickly I also get wanting to be angry, wanting to be violent, but like politically correct. Like, don't do it. It's bad. If you're gonna do it where it's a multi-dollar corporation, like you just pay it back.
Waymo.
Multi-million dollar
multi-dollar.
I know.
A multi-dollar corporation.
But yeah, $8. I got 8, one for each Waymo vehicle.
What's it called? Have you guys seen that video of the guy who's like yelling at I think it's the army or the Coast Guard?
The guy in all black, the tall slinky guy?
I don't know. I don't think so. It's the guy who people thought was Wyatt Russell. No. Kurt Russell. No. And he basically gave this big ass fucking speech to them, basically telling them like, you're on the wrong side of history. Like, you should be like ashamed that you're, you know, pointing guns at the citizens you swore to protect, stuff like that.
It is crazy.
And it was like a really good fucking speech. And everybody was like, dude, this guy's fucking sick, blah, blah, blah. Some people were like, I'm going to be reading about this in history class later, or some bullshit like that, right? And what's it called? People thought it was Wyatt Russell, aka Kurt Russell's kid. The guy who played the bootleg Captain America from Thunderbolts.
Oh.
Because it looks just like him. But it's not, apparently. What?
The bootleg Captain America from Thunderbolt is, what's his name? Wyatt Russell?
Wyatt Russell.
Wyatt Russell is the son. Wyatt. No, Wyatt.
Is the son of Kurt Russell.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. Did not know that. Sorry, that part was the most like surprising. I was like, "What the fuck, really?" But I'm hearing you. Continue.
Anyway, it turns out it's some other guy, but what's it called? I think his name's like Aaron or something.
I hope
Aaron Fisher.
I hope he has some type of like social media. I feel like social media is really important with stuff like this. The sooner you get your platform going, or hopefully he has one going, and you can get your voice like documented and you can put it out there.
I was gonna say, like,
that's good.
I wonder, like, in times like these, I always wonder, like, who's that person that's gonna be like, is just as an example, the Martin Luther King of this movement, you know? Because I'm like, how the fuck did he even come to be the voice? How did like people like Cesar Chavez or you know, these people just suddenly become the voice of this movement? And I'm like, what if it's that guy? I don't think it'll be that guy, but that'd be cool.
I think that it's harder to kind of even imagine that, because the one negative thing about that I feel about social media, even with all that I said earlier or just like a minute ago, I feel like it kind of gives everybody the sense of either a watcher or a performer, or like a doer, or, you know, lean backer basically. So I don't know if anyone's ever going to actually be the one or gather around a singular person that isn't already in an established role. Like, I feel like everybody will like obviously go around and huddle and listen to people that are like a mayor, a president, a Congress, because those are established roles. But I feel like when it comes to social movements, especially nowadays, it's either everybody is the main character thinks that they are, or everybody's just going to watch and wait for a main character to pop up. And I think that, I don't know, I feel like back in the day, it was more organic. You followed people that had this spirit, this charisma, this way of speaking, this being. I feel like
aura.
Yeah, basically. I feel like we don't get those kind of people a lot. And but we do get the rare occasion of like just sheer verbal brilliance. So if this guy does become a like movement mover, shaker, I'm all about it. Yeah, figurehead. Yeah. There you go, figurehead. That'd be cool. I think we do need one. I think when movements have a like person to kind of direct the ship, not necessarily command it, but kind of like give to the flow, give a voice to the masses. I think that's great, as long as
yeah,
he checks all the boxes. So
along with like, because you mentioned like violence real quick.
Yep.
I was gonna say, all right, there's a fucking loud ass car. Damn.
Vroom, vroom.
Send them back.
Send them back.
I bet it was a wipe.
Sounded like a Charger, to be honest.
No, he's a Marine.
Yo.
I was just gonna say, you know how like, well, obviously the whole thing is like, oh, be peaceful and stuff like that, because that's how we should do. And obviously, like Martin Luther King was like one of those figureheads that had said like, being peaceful is the way to go. If you're violent, it doesn't lead to anything, or some shit like that. And I was just like, yeah. But then I saw somebody say that works if your enemy has morals.
From what I remember, I gotta Google it before I say some shit that is inaccurate on Mr. King's name. If I remember right, did Martin Luther King
Mr. King, you're right.
Didn't he at the end of the movement kind of lean more into the Malcolm X side of things, where he kind of was leaning more towards a hostile viewpoint, and then Malcolm X started leaning more towards a vocal viewpoint? Or
I don't know.
I don't know what in public school you learned, but not me.
No, like in public schools, that's the whole thing, is that Martin Luther King, pure peace. But I feel like I remember seeing in like social media posts and stuff like that recently, that's like they both of them kind of had like respected each other, but they both kind of had this switch slightly. They started like floating into each other's kind of like
idealism,
action. Yeah, idealism. Yes, there you go. Yeah,
good word.
But I want to see.
You think I'm not fucking educated, dude?
Yeah, sometimes.
You think by the color of my skin tone, I'm not educated?
No, by the fact that you went to 3 different high schools.
All right, dude. That had nothing to do with my education. That had to do with my ability of not being able to be violent, dude.
Oh, so you are one of the violent ones. Deport him.
That's crazy.
What the hell? You just get out of the shower.
With rage.
I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even remember too much about Malcolm X. I don't think I was ever actually like fully taught as to like what he did. Like, what did he do?
I'm trying to ask you guys a random question that we talked about at work. Now that we're talking about this.
What's up?
Okay.
So we have a debate within like the people around my desk. It's just all dudes, obviously.
100 men would win.
No. 2 would not win against the gorilla. We have a debate that Abraham Lincoln owned slaves.
He did.
Right. Okay. But then they looked it up and they were like, no, he didn't have slaves. He had people who worked for him. They're servants. I was like, they're slaves.
That's what I was going to say.
Fancy slaves.
No, he had slaves.
I don't know if he had slaves that he mistreated or things of that sort. I think he
didn't mistreat them.
Yeah, he had them in the sense of like, that's the title of that job, or like, I don't know.
Servants.
Yes, but they weren't like,
they lived there.
They weren't violent towards them. I think I could be wrong about that, but not sure.
I just found out he didn't even die on the spot.
Haven't been to school in a very long time.
I found out he died like the morning of.
Wait, no, I'm a liar. He didn't.
That's what I'm saying.
I looked it up. So no, Abraham Lincoln did not own slaves. Lincoln's family opposed slavery. While Lincoln was born in Kentucky, a slave state at the time, his family did not own slaves and later moved to Indiana, where slavery was illegal. Yeah, no, he never owned slaves. Hey, shout out to Lincoln, bro.
I think he stole them.
I don't think he did. He probably paid people to do what he didn't want to do, which is fair. We do that now.
Got paid too. They got paid in scraps.
Yeah, that's different, bro, from being paid actual money and not have to be there the whole time, you know?
Yeah.
Good for him. Oh, you know who we're confusing him with? Washington.
George Washington. Yeah, he had mad slaves. He had like over 200 slaves.
I always remember what's his fucking name?
Shane Gillis.
Shane?
Yeah, Shane Gillis. So that when he went to the museum,
to those quarters, I was just like, oh man.
Like, he just basically claims that George Washington was autistic. He was just a tall autistic ginger.
He was not a ginger, was he?
That's what they're saying. That's what he said.
Was George Washington?
I just seen a picture that said "Happy Pride" to all the Barbies I made kiss each other.
He was a red.
I told you.
He was a redhead.
I told you he's a ginger. He had no soul.
Sick. The British got beat by a ginger.
Yeah, by the soulless.
Hell yeah. By the soulless, it's crazy.
He got beat by vampires.
Okay, yeah, I was kind of right. At the end, it's at the end of.
I read a whole article.
Yeah, I had to, dude.
Because a whole conversation.
This shit is very important. That's why I don't. That's why I'm like, I don't blame people for saying that I don't want to comment on like political things that are going on right now because I don't have all the facts, and I don't for the most part. Fair. I just feel like I have a little bit more than those people. But with something like this, I want to make sure it's right. So I read an article on NPR right now.
Oh my god!
What's NPR?
That's your news source.
NPR.
That's a good source.
Hell yeah. It says, so they're just talking about the very end of like, kind of like, I want to say their lives or time. I was speed reading as fast as I could because I didn't want to just be sitting here. Where is it? But 5 days after the Voting Rights Act is passed, Watts, Los Angeles explodes in really the largest civil disturbance in American history up until that point.
So Martin Luther King got beat.
And when we think about after Watts, that's where King and Malcolm start to converge, because Malcolm had criticized that march on Washington as the farce of Washington, because he said that King and the movement should have paralyzed Washington, D.C. and forced a reckoning about race in America. And they didn't do that. By 1965, King says that in his essay, Beyond the Los Angeles Riots, that's where he's going to start using his nonviolent disobedience as a peaceful sword that paralyzes cities to produce justice that goes beyond civil rights and voting rights acts. So it's still in a matter of peace, but it's a more forceful approach to it. It's not like anything hyper violent like Malcolm's talking about or what they did, but they kind of for approaching this, let's get more into the face of it rather than just, or Dr. King specifically, rather than just sit back and do the protests peacefully, was more upfront and, in the faces about it. So that's what I read, but
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know super much about Malcolm X because I just didn't learn. I'm sorry. But from what I understand, he had a more, hey bro, like take our freedom or whatever by force if necessary type of thing, right? Or like fight for our rights, like literally fight.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I'm not saying that violence is always the answer. I'm just saying, like, I've said it before. You look at France, every single one of the revolutions or anything like that where they got rid of a fucking corrupted ass system, they had some of the, maybe not, well, I'll say bloodiest, but I mean just like they had some violent fucking protests / straight up coups, and that led to what I guess see as a better fucking system,
right?
I think.
Well, yeah, and for the Martin Luther King and Malcolm thing, I don't remember learning this to a certain extent. I feel like I remember Dr. King kind of just having like this religious standpoint or kind of backing or whatever, but I didn't know like the full truth, and I'm older now, you know, so it's knowledge will, it's like being relearned. Malcolm X had a very rough upbringing, was basically in like in the streets, and Martin Luther was in a well-off middle class, known church family. And I think they're both products of their environments. So I also don't blame. I feel like if there's going to be violence, as long as, or aggression, as long as it's put like places appropriately. And I know that's kind of weird because it's almost like a double negative, violence and it try to be used properly. But I feel like you can just direct that anger and that aggression to like the appropriate parties or areas where it's going to make more sense and it's not going to harm the people that are being already affected by the other side's really shitty fucking choices. So I don't know. I prescribe to talking until talking doesn't work.
I just think we've been trying to talk for fucking almost 100 years now, and it has not worked. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I'm just like, I don't know, man. You talking like I was saying earlier, talking only works when the other side is willing to listen.
Yes,
and they're clearly not trying to listen.
Yep.
So I don't know. Like if this is the year or the movement that decides to finally go a little bit more extreme, I'll say that. I think it's justified.
That's a civil war.
Yep.
I don't know about a whole civil war.
I mean, we have Marines pointing guns at their own civilians, like people they swore to protect, a country they swore to protect. You get me?
I think that especially after COVID, I think that we all got fired. I think emotions got really fired up because everybody was so bottled up and so to themselves for so long. That I think the future history books and even maybe like psychology books are gonna have a field day with this fucking era. They're gonna be like, the psychology of mass is imprisoned by an outward force. What do you think happens? Race issues, sexual issues, bodily function or bodily autonomy issues. What do you think is going to happen when they're kept in the house for almost 2 to 3 years?
The water flip cup challenge.
Chaos. Chaos.
So fucking stupid.
Sex work on the rise. Red pill on the rise. Social injustices on the rise. Fast media on the rise.
You see that they're trying to ban porn?
Honestly, bro, you're gonna piss off so many people. Stop doing that.
Like,
you guys, I don't know.
My America.
You guys,
it'll never pass.
Guess that maybe we're trying to get to like a weird religious point, or like maybe that's the goal where we're all like fucking, I don't know, hyper good values or whatever. Be so for real. Be so for real. There's so many people. There's so many fucking people in America. Like there's no way you're gonna make this work. Lord have mercy. Even if you get to that point, somebody's on the other side is gonna change their mind because they don't like it. Like, come on, this is bullshit.
Not to say that all religion is a cult, but I saw this thing earlier.
All religion is culty, not a cult.
Sure. What's it called? I saw this thing earlier of like some lady saying, I guess she was in a cult. And
Mormons?
No, it was like some other like Children of God. I think it was like Children of God cult. It was a fucking cult, and she got out basically. But she was basically saying like how right now in our heads, at least in my head, MAGA is a cult, and because it fills out all the check boxes needed, at least in a lot of people's opinion of what a cult is. Yeah. And she's saying there's only a few ways that a cult will die, and one of them is that the followers just realize like that the leader is full of shit, which I don't think will happen anytime soon. The other one is, I forget what the fuck the second one is. I don't think it was like, point is, it doesn't matter. Third one was basically like the next generation will stop believing, and I was like, her example was like right now Mormons. A lot of people think Mormonism is a cult, which realistically I think so too.
I don't know why.
And
I don't know why anybody else would think Mormonism is not a cult. Like, guys, it was made by some random dude, and where is it?
I am not trying to offend here. All I'm saying is that
like, no, the Mecca's in America. What do you mean?
I don't know, man. Anyway, the whole thing is that with Mormonism right now, they're lowering in numbers because the next generation, like the kids, are just not believing in it anymore.
They want to drink soda, dude. They want Coca-Colas. What the fuck?
Anyway, all I was gonna say is that you know, once the future generation starts realizing, hey, all of this
It's kind of bullshit.
talk, especially when it comes to like, well, the Bible says blah blah blah, or you know, what's it called? The in all of this scripture, so such and such should be is frowned upon or will get you sent to hell. It's like, yeah, I don't believe that anymore. And a lot of the generation, I think, thankfully, is starting to be like, I don't believe that. Show me
Like,
proof or
me.
anything like that. And it's like, I don't know. I have a hope that once the whole boomer generation starts dying off a lot quicker,
Yep.
maybe even a little bit of Gen X,
Okay.
we have a much more open mind.
That's what I've kind of said to like everybody that's upset when it comes to like protesting, whether it be the side that is protesting and changes aren't happening, or the side that is getting protested against, or even people that are watching that are just upset about just it happening in general. Change does not happen overnight. And I think, again, I'm rolling it back to social media and like, you know, modern day consumerism, fast fashion, fast media, fast like satisfaction. It has fucked people up. So you got to understand that these changes are not going to happen overnight. And it's your kids might see it, but their kids will for sure see it. There will be a change by the time like 2 generations from now, whether or not we're still alive. I know I won't be. You know, maybe that'll be an outcome.
Crazy. That's so crazy.
Be surprised if I make it, dude.
This guy's
All
crazy.
right, so end this shit.
Take us
I'm
out,
over
Steve.
it.
Well, with that note, don't do that, you guys. Hopefully you do see it. Not that guy though.
I mean, you'll see it, but what's the point of seeing it, bro?
That's one
You'll be
that's
too old to
outside.
do
I
anything.
can't benefit from it now. Cool. Do I get like grandfathered into some like financial support
No.
because I was in fucking
6 feet under.
financial recession twice in my life? That'd be cool. I like some
What?
payback.
You get money and then you waste it on what? You can't spend
No,
it.
I don't waste
you
it on
can
anything. I
spend
waste
it.
that shit on fucking care. I don't want my family trying to take care of my fat ass when I'm that like
get
that
that.
age, dude.
My fat ass.
I'd rather pay somebody that wanted to go to school for it and take care of people like me. I will pay for that happily. But
Oh, that being said, we are entering the final portion of our podcast where we share our newest and latest obsessions, whether it's music, shows, anime, movies, etc. A book, maybe, perhaps.
ooh, are you guys reading books?
Yeah, I am.
Oh.
Okay, don't say a self-help book. It has to be something that's for pure entertainment. That might be fictional,
Yeah, it's pure
nonfiction, or fantasy.
Yeah, it's this one.
What is it?
It's called Salem Lot. It's a
Stephen King.
book. Stephen King.
Wow, he's
Damn.
reading a book.
Yeah. It's a horror. It's a
Yes,
horror.
Stephen King.
Yeah. It's a horror.
Horror
Suspense.
thriller.
Yeah, horror thriller,
thriller.
suspense. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that's my latest obsession right now. Is that I am just
Getting
reading
into
more.
reading, cool.
Yeah.
I was
Alright,
literally
well.
talking about books with my mom yesterday. We were at work and I asked her like, what are you listening to? She was like, oh, I'm going to listen to an audiobook that I've been reading. And I was like, oh, cool. And I told, the same conversation. Want to read a little bit more. But
Wow.
cute. Sorry for getting to the final portion.
Might as well take it.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
Lee.
can- hi. I don't have any music. I don't think I have anything. Video games. Looking at my fucking desktop right now. No. There's nothing really new. I'm kind of in between right now. There's some games that are coming out in a like couple weeks, months maybe. I'm just chilling. You know, I don't know. I feel like it's that summer vibe, you know.
We're at the point where like games got announced, but nothing's out yet.
Yeah, and I kind of more or less want to go out more. I'm just kind of in the purgatory of I'm paying off things that I spent on when I had that feeling of I want to go out, and I went to like another state. So paying off that shit. But once that's paid off, then I'm gonna feel much more comfortable and wanting to like just go out. I'm getting stir crazy basically. So I want to do that a little bit more. As for shows, still watching Bones. Fucking love it. I'm on season like 5 or 6 now.
It's a good show.
Having a great time. Loving the binge. Such a good time. If you can get past like this show was on Fox and they had Stewie from Family Guy on the show, and I was like, okay. They even have commercials for like Priuses basically in the middle where she lets go and she lets it self park and they're like, whoa, what's going on? And she's like, it self parks. I'm like, oh, damn, America. Oh my God. Fox really was a piece of shit when we were kids.
Now we're trying to abolish the ICE system.
Dude, that is crazy. But yeah, so I've been watching that. Great time. I haven't been watching any anime lately. So I don't know. No recommendation. Oh, Dandadan apparently is going to be coming out again or coming out with the movie or the movie is going to be the new season, something like that. But
the movie came out and then from there it springs onto the new season.
Is the movie? That's the thing though. I mean, I'm confused.
Not the first episode.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Is it the movie? Because people are like, oh, movie 3 episode, but I think it's the wording. I'm not sure if there's a movie and then there's a 3 episode afterwards, or if the 3 episodes is the movie.
No, it's 3. It's the movie, then 3 episodes.
Oh, okay, because they did that with fucking.
They're not doing the Demon Slayer bullshit.
Man, that shit was so aggravating. Trying to talk to people of like, oh, it's still the movie. Oh, what about this season? It's like that was the movie.
What do you mean?
That was the movie. So. But yeah, so yeah, that's the only thing I can think of when it comes to like real specific hobbies. For final regards, be safe. Don't guilt trip yourself into just feeling like shit or whatever it may be. Put your voice out there. Everybody has one, so everybody should share it. Yeah, be safe. Look up tools and resources online for anything that might involve whether you know someone that might need some legal assistance or somebody that you know that has been detained. There are a lot of tools and a lot of hotlines, a lot of specific hotlines too. I think I saw one where there was for people that are specifically LGBTQ that are dealing with this. So there's a lot of very specific hotlines that are official channels. So I recommend looking into shit like that. There's a lot of people talking about it and sharing things on social media, so I feel like it won't be too hard. And yeah, be safe, stay hydrated. That's also important. And wear sunscreen just in case, whether you're protesting or going to the beach. So that's me.
Cool.
Richard, your turn.
Okay. 2 songs.
Tucson.
First one is called In Your Skin by On Paper.
In Your Skin by On Paper. Yeah,
it's indie. It's a lot of instrumental in the beginning, but it's just a chill song. Lyrics don't come in until like the 1:30 mark or something like that. Good singer too. But yeah, it's just a chill song. Maybe just, I don't know, something that I would probably listen to like just chilling in the car or something, or just doing chores around the house, something like that.
Yeah, I can see this. Good chill, vibey background music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, go check it out. And then second song is by Chai. I've recommended them once before. They're a Japanese band. The song is called Donuts, Mind If I Do.
Mind If I Do.
Donuts, Mind If I Do.
Chai. There it is.
Chai has a very distinctive singing style. I don't know. Some people might not like it because it's a little, how do I say it?
High pitched.
Yeah.
I think if anybody hears this and they're not really into like, or don't consume a lot of Japanese media, I think when they hear this, they're going to be like, yeah, this is what I imagined it would sound like.
Yeah.
But it's cute.
You get to the chorus, so good. Even just the whole thing. It's just a good chill. I think this is a summer track.
I like it.
Yeah. Riding down the beach type of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
PCH.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, go check that out. Final remarks. Fuck ICE. What's it called? Shout out to everybody that's protesting. Shout out to anybody just spreading word. Like Lee said, you don't have to feel guilty if you don't go to the protest. I know that people are planning protests all over the country. Again, you don't have to go. This is a very much if you can show support out there, great. If not, just spread word. That's all you need. And fuck anybody that voted for this. That's all I will say.
Yep.
That's me.
Take us out of here, Steve.
Boom. Nothing to recommend except read a book. Do some history before you guys go out and spew any nonsense to people. Stay safe, stay vigilant, fuck ICE, and just double down, fuck you if you voted for this. But you reap what you sow, and I hope that the people who were affected come out positive, and the people who voted for this, I hope that your tire pops and a whole 4-wheel drive falls on top of you and your family. Anyways, all right, like, comment, share, subscribe. Love you guys. Peace. And yeah, take care. Be safe.
Bye-bye.
Happy Pride.